Annyeong Korea. Annyeong Korea. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Welcome back to Ruby and Ryle's channel. So for today's video guys, let's watch this original Bibimbap and Korean street food night market in Jeonju, South Korea by Strictly Dumpling. Actually guys, this is a requested video by our friend in South Korea, Mr. Jun CATAP channel, and I'm so excited guys because I really wanted to watch the food that South Korean loves. So what are we waiting for? Let's go. Oh my god.
Welcome to my bedroom here in Hanok Village, Jeonju, South Korea. Let's go exploring. Stay in this little Airbnb type old traditional style Korean home. This whole village is shaped like this. There's about 50,000 mosquitoes in the air. I don't know if you can see them. They're like swarming right up in here. This place is so historic. This tree behind me, this ginkgo nut tree, over 600 years old. If a haunted tree ever existed, that'd be the one. Jeonju is really interesting. It's a very historical place, and you see this is like one of the largest collections of hanoks in South Korea still. And hanoks are these like traditional looking buildings that royalty used to stay in. So if you want to stay like a royal, kind of like what I'm doing tonight in my tiny little closet sized room of a space, then you can stay here inside Hanok Village. A lot of shrines built around 14th, 15th century, a lot of artwork, and of course this city is known for This is one of the most breathtakingly beautiful places I've been to in Korea. It's just so much history and so fun. Got cafes everywhere, a bunch of street food items, restaurants, beautiful, beautiful architecture. So there are different types of dumplings here, different types and fillings and shapes, and you get it and then you microwave it. This is not a bad dumpling. This one, big chunks of shrimp, crab meat, fresh seafood dumpling, tons of filling. What I like about this is the skin is really, really thin. That's a good skin on a dumpling. Oh look, ever seen a dumpling with a tail before? I'm gonna grab my dumpling by the tail. Alright, oh, this one's nice. Chives and eggs. Again, look at that thin skin. Don't ever insult this dumpling because it wouldn't be able to handle it with skin that thin.
Oh, that's so
I wish there was a little dipping sauce somewhere, some vinegar, hot oil. This would have been even more perfect, but as it is. These are awesome dumplings. Good chai flavor, tons of eggs. The fillings are huge. Not bad first bite of the night. Oh my god, so it's just meat with batter.
Oh, it's so good. Sieki.
This is literally thin slice of beef, battered in some kind of egg batter and just fried. Never seen something like this before. And then you eat it with a little bit of chilies and scallions. That is pretty darn tasty. I got it because I smelt it first, and it just smells like just great beefy aroma with like some kind of fried egg. And this tastes amazing. The beef is so soft, it like almost melts in your mouth. And the eggs, it's a little chewy on the outside. Inside is super smooth. There's a little bit of the crust that gets toasted nice and crispy. And this is a very popular Korean drink, fermented rice drink. Something I love in this country. It's almost like a really thin, eggy crepe with just the most tender piece of beef inside. And that chili and scallions was a perfect complement, and just slight aromatic fragrance from the sesame. Look at the size of the scallions they used to create that little condiment. This place, oh, I'm gonna recreate that recipe on my cooking channel because that's just delightful. If you're here, come try this place. This is just pure fried cheese. Condensed milk with cheese. I mean, it is what it is. Crispy grilled cheese with condensed milk. And there's no way this thing can taste bad because it's grilled cheese with condensed milk. And this will clog up your arteries a lot, but man, you know what? Worth it. So pretty. That's the biggest bibimbap I've ever seen in my life. And this city is where bibimbap actually came from, but we're gonna go to a really good restaurant for that. Jeonju is really known for a couple of iconic Korean dishes. One of them is dakgalbi, and the other is bibimbap. Dakgalbi, if you don't know, it's short ribs, and it's mashed together because duck is rice cake. It's kind of like the similar way they make the rice cake that they made these patties. It looks like a massive Salisbury steak, but it's short ribs compressed together into this deliciously rich patty. And I'm sure there are much better restaurants that serve dakgalbi and bibimbap, but my first day here, this is what this city is known for. I gotta give it a try. I passed by this dakgalbi place, saw a lot of people inside, got a whiff of that aroma. Now here I am. And this is a dish I absolutely adore, purely because I love mixing my rice with ingredients anyway. And this dish, it calls for that. Break the rice down, mix it with the egg and the veggies and meat.
Bean sprouts.
That was a good bibimbap. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I'm like the world's foremost authority on bibimbap. I mean, I eat it maybe once every couple months, but the veggies are fresh. The sprouts, I like how they use the bigger sprouts with a nice crunchier head. Like in Chinese, we call it da dou ya, which has a much better texture. There's not a lot of meat in here, but all the vegetables taste really fresh. Rice is perfect. The gochujang is spicy, but it doesn't overpower any of the other ingredients. You got that whiff of sesame aroma, and all the ingredients, they do work together, but yet at the same time, you can taste them separately. And I feel like this particular bibimbap, you do taste the slight creaminess from the egg. It's not a huge egg in there, but you do taste that creaminess. This has always been a very homey, very comforting dish for me. And I like that here, this is considered a side dish. First taste of dakgalbi. That I absolutely love. And I can see why that is served with my bibimbap. I mean, it has some strands of meat in there, but it's kind of like almost calling out to the dakgalbi to kind of join it in this bowl, because the only thing that can make this complete is a nice chunk of meat. And the dakgalbi brings that and then some. Oh my god. It's like a really hearty, super tender, juicy, fragrant piece of pork. And on first impression, extremely smoky. Just a tad of sweet flavor. And again, it's one of those meat items that, because it's pork, it's got a good amount of fat in here too. So as you're chewing it, you're releasing the flavors of the fat, and it's just kind of rendering on your tongue a little bit. And then the smoky flavor just gets more and more pronounced. It's like when they're compressing the meat, they actually made this like tightly knit porky flavor bomb that when your teeth cuts it open, everything just explodes. And what you're supposed to do is dip it in a little vinegar, and I'm just gonna put it on top of my bibimbap. Dakgalbi and bibimbap, they're best friends of the Korean food world. That just makes this infinitely better. Added to the bibimbap, it's like all of a sudden, this thing just comes alive. It's like Sam Winchester got his soul back. It ain't Korean food unless you're making a sam out of something. Raw garlic, bibimbap, dakgalbi, little chili sauce on top of everything. All it needs, touch of kimchi. Someone should make a song about that. Touch of kimchi. I love how in Korean food, there's so many different ways you can eat a dish, because every meal you have, there's so much banchan on the table, there's so much fresh veggies and sauce, ingredients like raw garlic. There's so many ways you can change the flavor profile. There's so many ways you can elevate that profile. And that's one of so many reasons why Korean food is delicious and never gets boring. And here's a great example. This japchae has been sitting on this table. It's getting a little cold. Wouldn't it be great if this thing is just covered in that dakgalbi sauce? I think so. Stir-fried japchae, infinitely more sesame flavor. If I had a lighter right now, I'd be lighting it and waving that thing around. Now eat it with a piece of the dakgalbi. That's just full on majestic. Give that a try when you're here.
Wow. Sorbet. Mango sorbet. Oh,
this place is really known for their chrysanthemum sorbet. Ooh, that's actually super yummy. Chrysanthemum is something that I've been eating growing up, and we love this in China. And typically we'll eat it raw, or we'll make like chrysanthemum pancakes out of it. This sorbet, you taste that great sweet creaminess of the chrysanthemum. The fruit itself, it's got that really rich sweet flavor. That's exactly what's represented with the sorbet. And this cafe is so cute. Look at this. Wow. That about wraps up a good evening.
Coming back to the Airbnb, I was rounding the corner and I see that. Scare the living bibimbap out of me. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this lock on the inside in case someone tries to lock me in. When you watch one too many horror movies, this is the stuff you think about. Well, it's really cool. The floor is actually heated. So, yeah, there's my bed for one tiny little space. But it's cozy. Impression of Jeonju, absolutely love it. It's one of the most beautiful places I've been to in Korea. So historic and got this like almost mystifying aura about it. And I got one more day here tomorrow and then heading back to Seoul. So glad I came here. Such a wonderful trip so far. But it's 9 p.m. Gotta go to bed. Not even joking. That's my new bedtime now. 9 p.m. Looking forward to a full food day tomorrow though. See you then. Good morning from Jeonju. Today's plan is
get some real authentic bibimbap. And there's night market today. In between, just gonna walk around, explore, go to some cafes, just absorb all this in. Because, yeah, there's a lot to absorb. First stop, real traditional bibimbap for breakfast.
Heavy meal for breakfast.
And of course, the city being the birthplace of bibimbap, this restaurant essentially is the birthplace of bibimbap. Oh, I've never seen a banchan that's like a miniature crab before.
Wow.
You gotta be careful eating that. The claw stabbed me, even in death. That little crab was trying to fight back.
Oh, it's sizzling. My God, it looks good.
This dish is just intoxicating. From the moment it's brought to your table, you hear the sizzling of the rice against this hot stone bowl. And when you're mixing it together, all of a sudden you get that great smell of bean sprouts and cooked beef and slightly burned rice, which is what you're looking for, that little crispy side that's touching the bowl. And to be able to eat this in the city that this was created, from the first restaurant to ever serve this dish, the sensation is almost overwhelming. Felt like what I had last night, a knockoff compared to the real thing. First of all, the toasty, crispy rice creates just this magnificent mouthfeel. All the ingredients are incredibly fresh. So much crunch coming from the bean sprouts and the veggies. And it has this like really great, subtle umami flavor, as well as the slightly spicy taste from the chilies that's not overwhelming, but just a perfect addition. Of course, I asked for extra chili sauce. Just like a clay pot rice in Chinese cuisine, I feel like the toasted, crispy rice in the bibimbap is so important and adds so much to the texture of this dish. It's crazy when you stir in the chili paste and it's kind of cooking on the side of this still hot stone bowl. That aroma gets me as excited as when I'm pouring the hot oil onto my chilies. It's just an incredible, welcoming fragrance. This is the best bibimbap I've had in my short bibimbap having life. Definitely beats any restaurant I've had in the States. And I'm gonna assume it's one of the best you're gonna find in Korea. Dare I say, it got even better with the chili sauce. Truly a magical bibimbap experience. Just wanna give a big shout out to Sujen who told me about this place. Thank you so much. Heck of a recommendation. Thank you. Besides the awesome chrysanthemum tree, those jars are all their chili sauce. So that's why it tasted so good. I knew their chili sauce tasted different. It's perfectly fermented. It's got such a rich, spicy flavor, and it's all in there. I want to just like open one and dunk my head in. I'll work out with some archery. Huh. 4 points. It's so nice to just walk around and after you eat some food, and there's desserts and cafes everywhere. Archery didn't really pan out. It was like a carnival thing though. Look at this place. It's like it's still fall here when in Seoul is already winter. And this is only about an hour and a half south by train, but the climate, like the weather is so different. And the cafe. Cafes look like this. So nice to be able to sit here, enjoy a little cup of tea. It's like a sesame bean cake. First of all, I love using this to eat anything. Perfect with some tea. Another food item that is really known here in Jeonju is a choco pie. Anytime there's an excuse for me to shove sweets in my mouth, I'm for it. And last time I had a choco pie was probably from like Little Debbie back like 20 years ago. But I bet you this is gonna taste a lot better.
네, 여기가 초코파이 진짜 원조집.
Got some marshmallow and some cream inside, and little nuts embedded as well. That's a good choco pie. That should taste like something that's high quality. And these, and all the stuff is made really fresh.
Wow.
Dinner will be at the
It's a Korean
Nambu Night
palace.
Market. This night market operates every Friday and Saturday. Usually in the daytime, it's a really good place to come for produce, but at night, Friday and Saturday night, it's the food vendors. Let's go. What's crazy about this place is that there's over 30 stalls. Each of them are selling something different. So nothing is repeating, all unique vendors with different food items. This is gonna be a feast. Irony is when you're selling okonomiyaki at the same time have a sign that says boycott Japan. No joke. This is by far the best night market, at least for food, I've ever seen in South Korea. There's just so many different varieties. You got everything from pad thai to pho to steak to burgers to a bunch of different Korean dishes and cool little snacks. You got rainbow cakes and people cooking everything with blow torches. There's so much already. Like I'm walking around, I'm still in scouting mode right now. There's already so much I want to eat. All right, scouting phase is over. Now it's time to eat. Already there's like 12 things I want. I want it all. Let's get started. Waited in line for so long for this pork belly kimbap. If you guys never had this before, it's rice, seaweed wrapped outside, and it's veggies and meat inside. Freshly cooked pork belly makes a huge difference. Nice crunch from the veggies and nice snap from the seaweed. Good texture from the rice. I like how the fat from the pork belly is also soaked into the rice. So you got that nice fatty flavor as well. Scallions and fatty pork belly really balances everything out. Fried shrimp and chicken with sesame on top. And as soon as I poke the little bamboo sticks in, I could tell this is crunchy. Woo. That is hot, sweet, fried to a crispy whole shrimp. I love the shrimp because they fried the tail so much that you can just crunch on that thing. Don't even worry about it, just put the whole thing in your mouth. The outside is so crispy, and the inside is just beyond tender. Not overly sweet with a nice hint of sesame as well. I mean, that is gonna take a little space in your stomach, but I think it's worth it. Nummy and spicy tteokbokki with tofu skin.
This is so good. It tastes like a mala tang, like a Chinese spicy and nummy hot pot with the tteokbokki. I love the garlic flavor of the chives and that mala, the nummy and spicy sauce. It's insane. And the soup here is so hot, it's gonna keep the cheese melty the entire time you're eating this. The thing with this place is it's so crowded. Any place you can find to kind of chow down a little bit, you just do it. This is one of the best things I've had. I didn't know it could be like this. Tteokbokki is usually cooked in the Korean chilies, but putting it in a mala sauce, it's like matching Brady with Belichick. The potential is limitless. This is pretty cool. On the roof of this place, I didn't know. There's a little secret dining area, sort of. This is mianbusha. In Chinese, it's called xia mianbao, or shrimp bread. It's basically a deep fried shrimp sandwich. Perfectly crispy on the outside, buttery, toasty, crushed. And they give you a little dipping sauce with it. Yeah, buddy. Oh my gosh, that toast is so buttery and airy. And that shrimp tastes like it got into like a 18-round boxing match. It tastes like it was just knocked around until it was so incredibly tender. I mean, besides it being a tad greasy, that is absolutely delightful. This thing, I mean, it's pretty burnt. I never had clams roasted like this before. Just a tiny bit of juice left on the bottom of the shell. Otherwise, this thing is just toasted. The outside is kind of snappy when you crunch through. And the inside, it's just pure juice. And that's because the outside is toasted really well, so it kind of seals all that juice in there. It's a very chewy clam. It's exactly what you think a barbecue clam should be. Oh, here are the oysters. Oyster's great. It's got a bit of sweetness to it, and it's a little briny, not too much. I mean, this stall, what it is you're just tasting the fresh clam and the oysters. That's it. I mean, there's a little dipping sauce if you want. It's a little sweet. Otherwise, you're just purely eating the clams and oysters because they're delicious in their own way. I think I got what I wanted. Can't end the night without a freshly fried hot dog. And there's
Hot dog.
my favorite sweet dish in South Korea. There's no letting you down. Oh, this one's especially airy. Oh my god. It's basically a fried donut. Nuts on the outside, pumpkin seed, sunflower seed, honey inside. And no wonder this one is called a moon hot dog. Look at all that space. This thing is so airy and light. I would get 3 of them. Because trust me, just eating one, I can already tell I want more. Alright, you know what? One more thing after this.
Wow, that's good.
Whenever you see a grilled banana anywhere in the world, you buy it, you gotta get one of these. Huh. Huh.
What's that?
A little dry. Grilled banana and coconut sauce. I think the sauce is good. A little coconut sauce, a little pandan shaving. That's all good. But the banana is way too dry for me. I mean, it's got a nice smoky flavor and it's sweet. But no, kind of disappointing last item I had here because most of the stuff I got was so good. But overall, I do feel like this night market in South Korea is probably the one I've been to, has the most diversified food stalls. You really don't find a lot of repeating food items. Best thing I had tonight, 100% without a doubt, the mala tteokbokki. One of the best versions of tteokbokki I've had in South Korea. Overall, this has been one of my favorite trips in South Korea. And not just because the food was great, and it was great. Being able to have the original bibimbap, going to the night market, strolling around, eating touristy food, it's really a once-in-a-lifetime experience here. And just being able to be here, walking around these traditional buildings, checking out ancient temples, and it's such a historically significant, culturally significant city. It's truly an experience unlike any other. And I would strongly encourage you. This is only about an hour and a half train ride from Seoul. So if you're there for a week, take a day, come over here, rent one of these rooms in a Hanok for a night, stay here, experience this. I think you're gonna love it. As always, all the places I went to listed down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Till we eat again. See you later.
There you have it, guys, the original bibimbap and Korean street food night market in Jeonju, South Korea by Strictly Dumpling. I love watching this video. He shows and gave us a touring to those places where we love to visit, especially the food that we usually eat, and what's the exact taste and ingredients of it that makes me mouth watering. I really love watching him eating the food, And trivia, guys, Jeonju is a city in western South Korea. It's known for a Jeonju Hanok Heritage Village, an area of traditional houses, craft shops, and food stalls. In the village, the 15th century Gyeonggijeon Shrines has portraits of former kings. Jeonju Korean Traditional Wine Museum demonstrates the making of local rice wines. Omokdae and Imokdae are centuries-old hilltop pavilions with sweeping views. There you have it, guys, the Jeonju, South Korea. And if you're wondering what to do and things to do in Jeonju, South Korea, guys, number 1, feel like a local at Jeonju Hanok Village. Nothing feels more authentic than staying in a traditional Korean houses. The Hanok, this is one of the amazing things to experience in Jeonju. The city houses the largest collection of these traditional houses in Hanok Village, with just 15 to 20 minutes from Jeonju train station. You get to enjoy an authentic Korean experience. And number 2, guys, don't forget to take a stroll at DEOKJIN Park. DEOKJIN Park is one of the most picturesque views in Jeonju, Korea. The lush greenery and serenity of the park offers are enough to make you stay the whole day. It's an excellent Jeonju day trip option to take a break from a city. It is a wonderland for photographers too. And number 3, guys, and don't forget to visit the Jeongyjeon Temple. It's a 10-minute ferry ride from Soyang Lake will take you a charming temple to CHEONGPYONGSA. This beautiful temple in Jeonju sits peacefully on a misty slopes of Mountain Obongsan. The view is a vacation in itself. And number 4, guys, and find the street art in JAMAN Mural Village. It's some of the underserved neighborhoods in South Korea are experiencing a makeover through the form of murals. This initiative is to beautify the streets with vibrantly colored and artistically painted murals on the walls, fences, or houses. And down to number 5, guys, shop to your heart's content. Jeonju isn't just home to temples, shrines, and parks. It also offers great shopping experience. For one, Jeonju is famous for its traditional crafts, particularly fans and mulberry paper fans. For tourists, guys, these are great additions to their things to buy in Korea. Aside from that, there's more to go crazy shopping in Jeonju. We're down to number 6. Search for the best bibimbap. This is what we're waiting for, guys. In case you haven't heard yet, Jeonju is the home of bibimbap. If you want to try this famous Korean dish of rice, beef, vegetables, you've come to the right place. Jeonju Bibimbap is one of the city's pride and one of the amazing things you must try here. And we're down to number 7, guys. Swing by Jeonju National Museum. This is one of the places that you shouldn't miss, guys, when you go to Jeonju. Another amazing thing to do in Jeonju is to immerse yourself in the city's history of Jeonju National Museums. There are over 40,000 artifacts in the museum for research, exhibition, and preservation purposes. And we're down to number 8, guys. Enjoy a kettle of MAKGEOLLI. Aside from your quest to find the best bibimbap, another must-try in Jeonju is their MAKGEOLLI. MAKGEOLLI is a traditional fermented rice liquor that's high in amino acids, protein, and vitamin B complex. An order of a MAKGEOLLI kettle comes with a vast array of side dishes to enjoy. The best part is when you order the second time around. You're also served with a different dishes. So we're down to number 9. This one, guys, is one of those things that I really wanted to do when I go to South Korea. Wear the hanbok. There you have it, guys. Hanbok best presents South Korea. This traditional attire is mostly worn during festivals, ceremonies, and different occasions. When in Jeonju, Korea, you get experience wearing the hanbok, walk around the streets, and feel like a local. The traditional hanboks are available for rent for both women and men and usually come as a pair. And we're down to number 10. Experience the Jeonju nightlife. Jeonju is not one of the left behind when it comes to nightlife. The city has some areas perfect for drinks and to unwind and have a good time. Nearby Jeonbuk National University, mostly known as the Gold Gate, there are restaurants and bars catering to a younger crowd. Sinsigaji is another popular area to hang out and have few things. It's newly developed district with a variety of bars and clubs dotting the area. There you have it, guys, the 10 amazing things to do in Jeonju, South Korea. I really wanted to go to South Korea right now. But anyway, guys, there you have it, guys, our tour in Jeonju, South Korea. And if you want to visit the South Korea, guys, visit and book your travel destination with these friendly travel agencies. They'll definitely give you extra care, convenient travel packages, and very affordable prices. What are we waiting for? Book now. Visit the FB page, guys, June and Jen Travel and Tours, or WCA Travel by Marivi the Traveler, guys. I'm gonna put all the links that you needed in my description box down below. Hope you checked it. And big shout out to all my kababayans in South Korea. May Park, Ryan the Explorer, June CATAP channel, Rosalie Korea Vlogs, Marivi the Traveler, Yelim Lee channel, Speechless Guy channel, JJ's Mom, and RJ Alpuerto. There you have it, guys, our travel in South Korea and the original bibimbap and Korean street food night market in Jeonju, South Korea. Hope you enjoy our reaction video with the food and also the trip that we had. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also, guys, please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be updated to all my videos. Kamsahamnida. Thank you so much. Stay safe, everyone.